Welcome back. Tonight, and today we're continuing with tweens. Last time we had tweens starting to work in a way that doesn't pass through solid walls. Um, they are interruptible, which is also nice, and I can do I can interrupt it in one side. Made an active hitbox, adjusted some numbers so that things actually have a consistent position. And today I want to be able to edit it so that if I get hit, I don't just stop like that temporarily and continue moving. No, we want them to be able to actually stop where they are and get hit by the launch. So there's a few places to consider. One of the first places in the stun manager, you can put it on the block types as long as it's not block, which is an option. Mm, we could put it individually under these block types that isn't block. Separately, we could put it here. But this requires a reference to the tween, which the stun manager doesn't directly have. In fact, the tween is in the attack manager currently. However, we may want to pick this reference, something that's on the host, so we can just add host.tween, and then we can call host.tween.kill. So I think that would make a lot of sense. I think it would also make a lot of sense to be in the entity base, which is the base class for what are all the entities are going to be, the player, the enemies, anything essentially that moves. So let's put a var, call it tween here. That is a tween. Save that. Go to the attack manager and call that same thing as a reference. And double check everything is still working. I also want to check if this line is necessary. Accelerating rather than jumping. Yep, I prefer this line. Okay. Now that that's done, we want to be able to reference to the hosts. Now the stun manager might be a good spot, so let's start with there. Let's just test if it makes sense. If we start stun, just type in tween.kill, the host for specifically. And test. Yep. Is it using the facing direction of this player? Can we try from over here? Whoa. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Because they should still be stunned if the tween doesn't exist. So just put that as statement there and essentially just put a null check. Good thing we made that mistake when we put this thing in the way. But now to what I was trying to do, which is it based on the way I'm facing? Yeah. Okay. That is incorrect, I'm pretty sure. Like, genuinely, it is a little incorrect, I think. Right. Yeah, because if I walk into it from this direction, I shouldn't be heading that way. I should be doing what that thing did, which is stun away, not in the same direction. So, okay, let's start with standard facing. So, facing right, I hit right. Facing left, I hit left. Okay? This thing doesn't have the ability to change the direction it's facing. So let's check if it's moving the right way. Was that correct? I have a knockdown attack. I don't remember what button it was. Knockdown is light punch. Okay. Something is wrong with the attack. Also, she's not visible. Yeah, those are incorrect. US knockdown, mid, stun duration. Well, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Actually, no, this does matter. These don't matter. This matters. It's not frames 5. Air override. Yep. Light punch. No. Has it been blocked? Yeah, that was being blocked. Okay. If I push it in from this direction, it pushes to the left. And if I go from this direction and push it in, it also goes to the left. So it always goes to the left, regardless. But for the player, which hits it a bit too far, is that still on screen? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I can still hit, I can hit it in the direction that I want it to go. Which is nice. Is it blocking? Is that thing blocking? Or is late kick just passing by? Testing. Ball. Facing right, block type is low. Its block type is low, yet it's getting hit? Yeah, yes, I mean. Light kick has a low hit type. I'm sorry? Blocking and facing left, which is what I saw on this thing. Blocking, facing left, blocking low. Okay. It's not much of a signature, or is it hitbox? Okay. Debugging is the current thing. While it's doing what it's supposed to, it's doing. If they're the same type, then they should be blocked. And then if the did I remove the grounded? Um, to check for if they're grounded. No, okay. Why the hell is it moving so far? It's only 200 for the distance. That's because the block back distance is 300. Okay. That is not saved. Okay. Now return to it. This is on hit, and this is on block. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes a whole lot more sense. Okay, wait, why is this not launching? I'd like to see the hit working. This is not working. Probably because it actually says error. Oh, that's fine. Hit type overhead. I'm hitting. Why is it not moving? It's the same one. Okay, why are you not hitting? Any kick's not working, and I'm not sure why. The projectile is also working, um, but I made that invisible. And also shouldn't be that high. Okay. What is wrong with this? This is supposed to technically hit. It launches. It has a hit stun duration of 40 and a hit back distance of 100 and 500 negative. It's not praised. 5. Let's go with that. Stun away. Stun air override. Let me remove this real quick just to see if it is this that broke it. Broke it. Inconsistent results. Meaning something is wrong. So sometimes it's stunned on the air and sometimes it's stunned on the ground. That is really, really bad. If input component equals false, colon, print is on floor to check if it's working or not. It should be a bunch of falses. That's true. I hit with the launch. It's false. True. Alternates. Let's see if this has anything. Lock stun is not assigned in frame 1 or 2. That's those errors. But it's not printing any more with them. So why are you not stunning properly? If the hit type and the lock type are the same, return that block check as true. So if they're blocking and the thing is blocked, then So that's blocked. If the attack type is not the same, but if the attack type is mid, return true, otherwise return false. Okay. Sure, but I don't get why that's not working. This was not fixed. It might be that math. Yep, that was just not fixed. Go to this, double check that these are reasonable numbers. You know, maybe I could use the stun and tweening rather than manually doing this stuff. I kind of like that idea. But it would be a bit of a redo of code. Hmm. Let's put a to consider it. You might make it smaller and not need two functions for starting and ending it. For starting it and continuing it. And it would continue automatically without having to do all this stuff. I would probably keep the types because those have the nice implication of fixed type default types. So I would have like a basic default, which actually I might want to change this to custom rather than basic. I would like a block one, which is just block stun, knockdown, launch, and basic air. I think this should be default launch, not universal launch. So universal underscore actually default default default. Okay. In addition, default launch would now need to be a hardcode number. So stun direction negative 300 for the Y component and 100 for the X component, I think. bracket here, bracket here, vector 2, dogs. That is not the button I wanted to press. How far did you go? Oh, goodness, that's insane. Is this correct? Yeah. Oh, seriously? There's no way that's that much. Oh, stun durations. Right. Yeah, default knockdown just actually forces the duration. I see, right there. Remaining duration equals a hard-coded number. 40. Forty's too high. 30. I can't see it. Good save. Oh, it's just gone. It's just gone. Okay. Very strange. Let's go with 3 just to try to get this thing back on screen. Nope. That is way too much. Is that the problem? Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I think the tweens actually made more sense because that stuff was automated. So I choose the position I wanted, I choose how much time it takes, and then I can adjust those two. Yeah, okay. I think so. I might need to do that some other day. What's another small thing I could do today? Because made it so that we can kill the tween via attack. Can we kill a tween if it's in a combo attack? Well, that would just be starting another tween, wouldn't it be? Yeah. So that already is done. But it isn't this done. Make it non-interruptible by input during attack, except when attack is cancelable at that time. So as in, I'm attacking, and I press the attack button again during that attack, it would cancel. I think we can test it a little bit frame by frame using the current heavy kick attacks. So press the frame by frame mode, heavy kick once, or heavy punch. Continue incrementing till we get about 16. Now let's go with heavy punch again. And then the next attack starts, the debug amount goes up. So this is me pressing heavy punch the one time, this is me pressing it a second time, and then this is me pressing it a third time during the combo attack, which means it already does that second line. Or this, yeah, the second line here. Okay. Gonna need to decide some of things. Okay, so for the stun manager, I think it's going to actually need to be rewritten from pretty much the start, maybe, maybe not. I'll see. But this is gonna need tweens, so toggle comment, toggle comment. Comment this out. And then make a function start stun with tween. And we just have a reference to host on tween. Okay. So let's go grab the animate function from the attack manager and throw this in here. Maybe go to sleep immediately after. I'll have to see. I'll have to see if anyone's chatting. Nope. So attack manager. I think that's fine. So manager, animate. This call is not necessary. Okay, so to animate, this is just a random check. This is we want to use this more as a reference. Okay. So first off, we need a kill statement. Does the start not have like a Like, gonna need this stuff. If blocked. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna need all of this. All the way up to host.filtering. Still is copied. Okay. Unindent this. Oh, no, unindent, uncomment. God damn it. Okay. Let's listen, attack data, and default direction and block variable. These are needed. Okay. So this stuff is just needed. Um, this is a messy set of stuff. So we have an if statement for being blocked. Let me just do this way at the top. Okay. So first off, kill the previous tween. Then match the tween you want to this. What is the noise happening outside? It is past midnight. The animate function had some property just getting set for the tween, for the host, based off of information. So just have the information we want, hit stun, hit stop, and so on. So we know the distance, we know the time. We don't know the velocity, which is what we want to make, so we want to calculate velocity. Var, already know, func, get velocity, and then go to the attack manager because it has one somewhere in the parts, which is attack animation part, velocity function. Let's see. The stun manager, paste it. I don't think I'm gonna need these. Displacement isn't going to be needed. Since we're already calculating direction, I might want to do something else. Yeah, I actually do want the get time function as well. That's quick, but it's helpful. 18. And it's running. And then here we want the two property lines for host.tween from the attack manager would be the same, this stuff. And the for loop, maybe? I don't think I need the for loop part. These are going to be simple. It's not going to be part, it's going to be get velocity and get time, both of which need time in frames. So what would that be? We have attack data gone in here. Control C, Control V. Attack data. I want to build this later, actually. Okay. Sun direction. We have sun direction already calculated. So we want to take the stun direction, which is correct because we know that the other stun works. So animate would want to take in a stun direction, comma, stun underscore dir, colon, this would be a vector. We take in this attack data, which would give us the displacement vector. We take in the time in frame, which is also getting from the attack data. So I might want to just get the attack data. Um, hmm. Well, first off, let's grab the match statement a little bit from here. Continue. Undo some of this. Yeah. Please. So right here, we've got block stun and basic. These are the two more important ones. Might rename this to custom. Okay. Um, First off, instead of speed, it would be host on velocity and its property, and remaining duration would just be part of the thing as well. So in the block one, we want to only affect the host dot velocity. X host dot tween dot property tween property object host comma velocity is okay. The final variable should be first off 0. Wait, no, should be what? What did I do in Tag Manager? It should be whatever the velocity we want is in 0 seconds. So duration 0 and then whatever we want in seconds. this would be attack data dot block stun, not duration, but distance. Okay, the line right after, same thing. Attack data dot log stun duration. Now we need to correct these. So first off, we need to get time of this. Okay. Then the block back distance, we want to get velocity. So we get that. Get velocity. I'm going to put a 0 because this actually has to be a vector. Okay, let me underscore this. Or give it a new line because it's actually way too long. Okay. Vector for those. Another bracket. Comma. The time in frames, which would be get time on this right here. Okay. Now, does that match with the other part? What does it match with the attack manager is something I need to check. But now we have it set via the attack manager. And do these make sense? Also, it seems like the animate might be unnecessary if I just kill tween here. Alright, that makes sense to me. And this should be the same, but instead of block back distance, it's hit back distance vector. This also is hit back distance vector. This is hit back distance one time, so this should actually be fixed with this line right here. Otherwise, it would be setting both the x and y component to the same thing, which is not correct. You only want to set the x component here. Okay. Get velocity, double bracket, and get velocity doesn't get enough arguments. This doesn't need to be get time. Hit some duration. Okay. So we set the property for the host velocity. We set the host velocity with the tweens. We pass the attack data distance vector in the velocity function. Okay. It gets the displacement and distributes it over time. And then we make the duration for the get time in seconds, because this needs a second correction. This needs a frame. Does it need a frame correction or does it need to? How is it done in the attack manager? Yeah, okay. This is displacement over get time. Cool. I think I could adjust it in the stun manager to just take the attack data. However, I don't think that actually makes the most sense. I guess we just need to test that. Alright, so those are the basic ones. Next thing is hard coding, knockdown, default, and basic air. So these ones would be hard coded. Okay. I might not need this. I'll have to see. It really feels like it's gonna be reduced with a whole function just disappearing entirely. Yeah, from 54 to 94, which is 40 lines to 20 lines. From these, actually, it's more like from 54 to 124, which is 100 lines, which means we just cut it in half. We finished the other stun types. Oh, but it's late, so I probably should go to sleep. I think so. Finish hard code stuns. Anything else I want to consider? Flying this is going to instantly crash the moment I get a hit in, because it's not stun manager anymore. It's start stun with tween. Run it again. This one works. This one has a million in them. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yep, that's fine. Oh, just double check light kick is working. That's blocked. Oh. The default air stun is not working, which is understandable. What is happening here? I think we just hit it, alright? Weird. Okay, but then why is this one being invited? Should be fine though. Why is there an error now? Bound to root node to the player not hurtable started with no tweeners. So it's in the stun manager. What is possibly above this? There is nothing above this. Why is it broken? So I take it's telling me there's no animation for it or something. It's tween. It's got a hit back distance, block distance, basic is being used, stun away is on. But it's not moving. Is it being blocked? I don't think so, because I didn't see an is blocked part. If I actually go here and press this, it was blocked and it works. And this didn't increase. But on hit, it does. Is it just that one? No, there's more than one, I think. Yep. Okay. On hit, it's not working. Why? But we make it clean. That between bound to root node stun manager started with no tweeners. Why is that the case? It's not like it's an export variable, it's just not there. What's wrong with it starting with no tweens if I want to add one later? It's basically the same, is it not? Yet velocity has two brackets, yeah. This has one. Attack data and stun duration. Attack data and stun duration. Time. Block stun duration is incorrect. My back distance vector from 0 between property. Yeah, okay. That didn't fix it. By default, this is a vector type, right? If I type .x here, I should get an error. I try to do it. No, okay, that's the English. It's being moved, the property, the value to set, and the time. How are you working? You have feedback distance and this. What if I change this from 0 to 1? Why are you starting with the tweens? I mean, the attack is basic. It's got the hit type low. Is it being blocked in a different way? Blocking type low. Blocking type error. Let's click blocking type error. No. Overhead? 2, yeah. God damn it, why is it like this? Why does the... Did I break the block too? That's even worse. What happened to break the block? Let's return you to low and run it. Because now it actually still hits again. Wait, does it ever end? It doesn't. Wait, it stops. So I'm going to put the if statement if post dot tween dot is running. No. Dot if the tween is no longer running. Expected that. I can break it. Okay. Alright. Is there a signal on the attack manager? No. How are you ending? Okay, it just eventually ends, right? Not for that one. Let's go to the stun manager and add a property stun here that is a vector to 0, comma 0, comma 0 time. That seems incorrect on what we just coded. It doesn't seem to be stopping either. Because it's been hit, as far as I can tell. Mm-hmm. Let's stop being infinite, which is another neat thing. Mhm. Directions are no longer working. Guess the direction again to make this work. That is incorrect. Close. Because this is not calling this the direction on the first one as well. Can I just do this direction then? Yeah, 8 times 6. This is just the blocks then. The directions are working again. The stun on hit is broken still, which makes no sense to me. Stun away, stun direction. If it's blocked, Stun type default dot error. Maybe it's this for now. Couple comments. Does it not have one for air yet? Yeah. It's air. It's not having air. Enter hashtag fix. It's always causing the error for not having an air stun. Okay, but I'd like to understand why it's causing a tween problem. We're creating a tween, but we're not using it? Is that the problem? So if I just go into the process function and just say post.tween.create tween equals create tween, do I get a bunch of errors? Yep. Is it the same error? Yeah, pretty much. Okay, there we go. It's an error that's caused by not having any tweens. Alright, I think we have enough. And since we're redoing the stun manager to make the thing a little less big, I'm okay with this. I'm happy with this a little bit more. Now for command grabs, I might have to extend the hitboxes. Uh, extend the things a little bit, but I'll see. Alright, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.